Have you ever been ignored? In those moments, did you feel confused, hurt, or even angry? And did you ever ask yourself, why me? But then you convinced yourself that everything would be okay, but deep down, the feeling didn't go away easily. In fact, those feelings are completely natural, but how can we turn those unpleasant moments into opportunities for personal growth? This is where Stoicism, a philosophy of life that has been around for thousands of years, can help us. In this video, Morgan explores powerful Stoic strategies for dealing with being ignored. You'll learn how to maintain your composure, control your emotions, and turn other people's indifference into an opportunity for you to shine. Imagine a day when you're faced with indifference, but instead of feeling hurt, you feel empowered. It may sound too good to be true, but I promise you, if you apply the principles of Stoicism, you will see your life change for the better. Are you ready to give it a try? Watch the entire video and try to apply what I share. I believe you will be surprised by the results. While watching, if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I would love to hear about how you overcame the times you were ignored and whether you are ready to apply these Stoic lessons to your life. And don't forget, at the end of this video, Morgan will share with you a special secret that will help you not only overcome these difficult situations, but also turn them into motivation for you to grow. Join Morgan on a journey of self-discovery and live a happier, more stable life. Before we begin this inspiring journey, Morgan has a small request for you. Please subscribe to the channel to become a part of the wonderful community we are building. And don't forget to leave a comment below with the content, "I am stronger than adversity." This mantra is not only an affirmation, but also our commitment to facing and overcoming all difficulties with resilience and wisdom. Your comment will help spread this message. Let YouTube know that there are many people who need the inner strength we are sharing. Are you ready to change your life, to become stronger every day? When faced with indifference, we often fall into feelings of hurt and helplessness. But let's stop and think. Are we pushing ourselves into a spiral of negative emotions? Stoicism teaches that everything starts with the way we perceive the problem. Instead of seeing indifference as a rejection, why not turn it into an opportunity to look back at ourselves, to grow and mature? Join Morgan to explore the power of changing perspective. Number 1. Power of perception. Have you ever wondered why two people can look at the same situation but have two completely different feelings? Suppose there are two people experiencing a pouring rain day. One feels annoyed and disappointed because he cannot complete his plan, while the other feels the peace and tranquility in every drop of rain. What makes this difference? It's the power of thought, or as the Stoics called it, the power of perception. Imagine walking into a room where no one has noticed your presence. Feeling ignored might make you flinch, but what if instead of feeling hurt, you saw the situation as an opportunity to learn more about yourself? This surprising story may seem strange, but it's in the moments of being ignored that we truly see ourselves most clearly. This is where the power of perception comes in handy. Stoics like Epictetus once said, "It's not the things that worry us, but the way we look at them." The power of perception is that we can choose how to look at a situation, turning what might seem like a negative into a valuable lesson. When someone ignores you, instead of reacting negatively, you can stop and ask yourself, does this really affect my self-worth? That's how Stoic philosophy encourages us to approach life with equanimity and clarity. Interestingly, this idea is not limited to Stoic philosophy. In Christianity, there is a famous saying, "God only tests those whom he loves." When faced with hardship or indifference, Christianity teaches us to be patient and trust in God's greater plan. This is not apathy, but an opportunity for us to practice our faith, patience, and resilience. This is a wonderful parallel to Stoic philosophy, where we learn not to let ourselves be defeated by things beyond our control, but instead focus on improving ourselves. You see, the power of awareness lies in the fact that we can choose how to respond to any situation. Morgan believes that if you truly understand the value of power of perception, you will no longer be negatively affected by the actions of others. Instead, you will feel stronger, more confident, and most importantly, more peaceful. So the next time you are ignored, how will you perceive it? Will you let it hurt you, or will you see it as an opportunity to grow? Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Roman emperors and also a Stoic philosopher, once said, "If you are distressed by something outside yourself, it is not the thing that bothers you, but your judgment of it, and that you can change at any time." This reminder shines a light on our minds, helping us understand that true power lies in how we perceive the world, not in what the world gives us. Morgan would love to hear your thoughts on the power of perception. Share your stories of times you changed your perspective and how it worked. You can leave a comment below with the content "I choose peace" as a commitment to yourself that from now on you will use the power of perception to find peace in every situation. Morgan believes that, with the right mindset, we can create a more fulfilling and happier life together. Once we have realized that all emotions stem from our perception of a problem, the next step is to learn to let go of things that are beyond our control. The power of perception has helped us transform difficult situations into opportunities for personal growth. But to truly achieve inner peace, we need to go further and learn to accept indifference to unimportant things, not letting external factors control our happiness. Join Morgan to discover how to master this art of indifference to live a lighter and freer life. Number 2. Embrace indifference. Did you know that many people have changed history not by doing great things, but by how they face the indifference of others? Think of people like Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi, people who were ignored and despised. But instead of letting that discourage them, they found strength in that indifference. What enabled them to do such an extraordinary thing? It was the art of indifference, a concept that Stoicism taught us thousands of years ago. Imagine that you are in a crowd trying to speak your mind, but no one is listening. You feel like you are talking to a wall and it makes you want to give up. But then a strange thought comes to mind. What if I didn't need their approval? What if I kept going, not for them, but for myself? That's when you begin to understand the true value of indifference. Stoicism teaches us that indifference is not indifference, but an attitude of mind that allows us to remain true to ourselves in any situation. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "Do not seek approval from outside, find it within yourself." The art of indifference doesn't mean we don't care about things, but we know how to focus on what really matters and not let external factors dominate our minds. Think about your own life. How many times have you been ignored, rejected, or not recognized by others? While those times may feel hurt, they are also opportunities for you to practice the art of indifference. By keeping yourself calm and not letting negative emotions dominate you, you can redirect your energy to more meaningful things. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Your mind becomes invincible when it is not swayed by things beyond your control." In our daily lives, we encounter indifference countless times, from people we thought were close to us to strangers who don't understand us. But what really matters? Do we need everyone's approval, or do we need acceptance from ourselves and from those who truly love us? Christianity shares a similar view, teaching that we should not seek approval from the world, but focus on our relationship with God. When you don't need the world to understand you, you will find peace of mind, just like the Stoics practiced the art of indifference. When you truly master the art of indifference, you will find that your life is no longer governed by petty things. You will find freedom in not worrying about what others think of you. You will focus on developing yourself, living a meaningful life, unhindered by external factors. Morgan believes that when you learn to be indifferent on purpose, you will find yourself becoming stronger, more confident, and happier. Seneca, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "A wise man does not worry about what he cannot control." This is a powerful reminder that we should only focus on what we can change and let go of the things that are not. When you understand and apply this, you will find yourself no longer bound by negative emotions. Share your stories of how you overcame other people's indifference. Once we have learned to embrace indifference and realize that our self-worth does not depend on others, the next step is to control our own reactions. Indifference may be a test, but it is how we react that is the true measure of our inner strength. By remaining calm in the face of challenges, we can transform impulsive emotions into the power to grow ourselves. Now join Morgan in exploring the art of Control Your Reactions, where we will learn how to control our emotions and actions to live a truly balanced and happy life. Number 3. Control your reactions. Imagine you are sitting in a quiet room with only the flickering light of candles and the gentle sound of your own breathing. On the other side, the priest listens to your every confession, but instead of judging you, he just smiles quietly, encouraging you to find peace from within. Morgan wants to ask you this. In moments of stress, when others ignore or even hurt you, what would happen if you could maintain your composure like the priest? The secret lies in controlling your reactions, a valuable lesson that Stoicism taught us centuries ago. One day, a man came to the philosopher Epictetus and complained about how he often lost his temper when faced with criticism and indifference from others. Epictetus listened quietly to him, then gently asked, "When someone insults you, what is your first reaction?" The man replied, "I often get angry, sometimes wanting to hit back immediately." Epictetus smiled and said, "Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you react the way you do?" The man was surprised and wondered, "What do you mean?" Epictetus explains, "Our emotions do not come from events, but from our interpretation of them. If you control how you see events, you control how you react." Stoicism teaches that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to those events. This may sound simple, but it actually requires constant mental training. One of the famous quotes from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, is, "We are tormented by life, not because of what happens to us, but because of how we react to it." This means that events are not inherently positive or negative. It is how we choose to react to them that determines the outcome. In our daily lives, we often encounter unpleasant situations, perhaps being ignored, criticized, or feeling unappreciated. Our first reactions are often anger, sadness, or the urge to retaliate. But if you stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this reaction really necessary? Does it help me get closer to my goal? You'll realize that most of those knee-jerk reactions only make things worse. Just as a priest might advise his flock to find inner peace through prayer and reflection, Stoicism advises us to remain calm and in control of our reactions to challenges. Christianity teaches that, in all situations, we should respond with love and patience. When faced with insult or indifference, instead of retaliating, remember that he who loves his enemies will be rewarded in heaven. Similarly, Stoic philosophy teaches that our responses should be guided by reason, not emotion. By maintaining equanimity, we not only protect our own peace, but also spread positive energy to those around us. Controlling your reactions does not mean suppressing your emotions, but rather consciously guiding them. Morgan believes that when you learn to control your reactions, you become the master of your life instead of letting external situations control you. This not only helps you live a more fulfilling life, but also gives you a confidence and peace that few people have. Think about it. The next time you face a difficult situation, instead of reacting in the usual way, you can choose a different, calmer, more rational approach. You will find that this control gives you a new power, a real freedom. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "There is no enemy more terrible than uncontrolled emotions." This reminder is key to understanding that only when we control our reactions can we truly live freely and happily. Mastering the art of controlling our reactions not only brings peace, but also opens the door for us to direct our energy and mind to things that truly matter. Now, instead of letting external factors control us, we can focus on living in accordance with our highest values. Controlling our emotions is just a stepping stone. The next step is to direct our lives based on the virtues and principles we hold dear. Join Morgan in exploring how focus on virtue can be a guide to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Number 4. Focus on virtue. In history, have the greatest rulers not been the most powerful, but the most virtuous? Think of Marcus Aurelius, the famous Roman emperor, remembered not for his power and achievements, but for his wisdom and compassion. The surprising fact is that virtuous leaders tend to be remembered longer than tyrannical leaders. What makes the difference? They chose to focus on virtue, on the noble values they believed in and lived by. According to a study of the most admired leaders in history, nearly 80% of them were remembered for their moral values, not for their wealth or power. This suggests that while power and money may fade, virtue is something that lasts forever. But how can we focus on virtue in our daily lives, especially when we are ignored or treated unfairly? The trick is to identify the core values we believe in and let them guide our every action and every thought. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the ultimate goal of life. Epictetus once said, "There is no path to happiness because happiness is the path, and the path is paved with virtue." This means that instead of looking for happiness in external achievements, we should focus on living up to the values we hold dear. When you are ignored or treated unfairly, instead of letting it hurt you, ask yourself, does this action affect my virtue? If the answer is no, then you are on the right track. For example, if you believe in honesty, be honest in all situations, even when no one is watching. If you value patience, practice it every day, even when others are testing you. As Seneca said, "Virtue is the only thing that no one can take away from you." Virtue is your anchor in all circumstances, helping you maintain faith and optimism, even when faced with the most difficult situations. Morgan wants to remind you that virtue is not just a set of right actions, but also a way of life, a way of looking at the world. When you focus on virtue, you will find that what others think of you is no longer so important. You will live a life not to please others, but to perfect yourself. And then the indifference of others will be just distant echoes, unable to shake your heart and spirit. In Christianity, living a virtuous life is also considered a way to please God. Love others as yourself, a teaching of Jesus, not only advises us to love, but also emphasizes the importance of living a virtuous life. When we focus on virtue, not only to improve ourselves, but also to spread love and goodness to others, we are truly living out this teaching. Like the virtuous kings of history, you can choose to live a life where your worth is not determined by how others treat you, but by how you treat yourself and the world. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Live well, for no one else can live for you. This reminder is a call to put virtue at the center of our lives so that each day is meaningful and worth living. Morgan would love to hear from you about the virtues you value most in your life. When we set virtue as our guiding principle, our lives will become more peaceful, no longer shaken by external factors. But to truly achieve freedom of the soul, we need to take one final step. This is the secret that Morgan reveals to you at the beginning of the video. When you live true to your virtue, recognition is no longer something you need to pursue. Let's explore with Morgan the final and most valuable secret to truly liberate yourself and find true happiness. Number 5. Let go of external validation. Imagine you are the founder of a non-profit charity, dedicating yourself to helping the less fortunate. Every day you work tirelessly, not seeking recognition, not expecting praise. But then one day you see another organization getting all the attention, while your work seems to be ignored. How would you feel? Most of us may feel unfair and frustrated, but Morgan wants you to stop and think. Is external validation really necessary for you to continue to contribute? Or is the value of the work you are doing in the actions and help you bring? In contrast to the image of prominent non-profit organizations, many people work quietly without ever appearing in the press or receiving attention. They do not need external validation to feel that their work is meaningful. Why? Because they understand that the true value of work, of life, lies not in what others think or say about them, but in the dedication and virtue they pursue. This is the spirit that Stoicism conveys through the concept of let go of external validation. Morgan believes that when we are no longer obsessed with seeking recognition from others, we are truly free. Epictetus, one of the great Stoics, once said, "A free man is one who is not bound by the desires of others." When you don't need others to validate your worth, you stop worrying about pleasing everyone. You focus on what really matters, the values you believe in, and the virtues you live by. This not only brings you peace, but also makes you feel whole and fulfilled, even when no one recognizes your efforts. The most important thing Morgan wants to share with you in this video is true freedom and happiness only come when you let go of the need to seek validation from others. When you understand that your worth does not depend on external praise or attention, you will begin to live a fuller and more fulfilling life. You will realize that happiness is not about what others think, but about being true to yourself and the values you respect. Morgan would love to hear from you about your experiences when you let go of the need to seek validation from others. Leave a comment below with the content, "I choose freedom," as a commitment that from now on you will no longer let external validation control your life. Morgan believes that with this freedom, you will find true power and become the best version of yourself. Are you ready for this change? Morgan would like to express her sincere gratitude to you for taking the time to explore the profound lessons of Stoicism with her. There are times in life when we feel ignored and unimportant, but Morgan hopes that through this video, you have found the inner peace and strength to overcome those challenges. Remember, your worth is not in what others think, but in how you live in accordance with your virtues and values. Let go of seeking external validation and focus on your own journey. Morgan is here to walk with you on this journey and would love to hear from you how you have applied these lessons to your life. Once again, Morgan thanks you for being a part of this wonderful community. Continue to spread positivity and remember that you have the power to change your life for the better. Before we wrap up, can you guys do Morgan a little favor? It would mean a lot to me to let me know what you think of this video by choosing one of the following options. 1. Unsatisfied. 2. Neutral. 3. Satisfied. 4. Very satisfied. Leave your vote in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Also, stay tuned for more videos at the end of this video. Morgan believes in you and looks forward to seeing you in the next videos. Wishing you happiness and strength on your journey.